At the time of making this video, I do want to mention that I haven't watched any review on the game whatsoever and wanted to keep an open mind and experience the game for myself. I pre-ordered Gotham Knights, and being an Arkham fan, I was excited to experience the game related to the most vile city ever, Gotham. But 2 days before the game actually came out, I was really questioning playing the game in the first place because of the frame rate limitations on the next-gen consoles. The problem is, you cannot advertise your game as a next-gen one if it doesn't actually have those next-gen performance. And I'm going to be honest with you, Gotham Knights does not feel like a next-gen game, at least for me. The graphics are fine, like nothing mind-blowing, but if you think the game actually is ugly, you either haven't played the game at all, or you just want to hate on it because that's a popular thing to do at the moment. As I was saying, Gotham Knights doesn't give me those next-gen vibes at all. I do think the game could have been actually made for older consoles, but with a catch. It was going to probably run at 10 FPS. I don't have the assets of Digital Foundry to monitor my frames and resolution, but I can tell you that I could visibly see my frames dropping. Whenever I was using my bicycle to travel across the city or during some intense fights with a lot of action and explosions, I could see my frames going far away. There were some instances where some elements of the environment would pop out of nowhere. Actually, that happens almost all the time, now that I think about it. And the classic getting stuck in the air. So the game does have some performance issues apart from the frame rate issues. But the devs said they wanted to create an open world experience where you could play the whole game with a friend seamlessly. But with that vision came the sad reality of that experience limitations. The game could only run at 30 FPS on the newer consoles. The first thing I want to say is that I think they were wrong to go one way when they could have kept their vision and still add an offline mode where people would be able to play at 60 FPS without the limitations of the co-op mode. That's the trick even Demon Slayer uses when playing an online match, but they should have given people the option to choose from the very start, since not everybody wants to play online anyway. So with that said, how actually is that co-op experience? Well, I want to first say that I don't like the fact that the devs talked about the performance of the game only a week before it actually comes out. The game does have some other issues, and they should be held accountable for not being upfront and not optimizing the game. Secondly, I think the decision to not release the game on all the consoles was the right choice because, given the state of the game, it was going to be a nightmare. Think about it, the vast majority of people still play on those consoles, and if Gotham Knights wanted to make a lot of money, they would have included those people. The 10 people owning a PS5 are not going to make the game the best selling one, come on. But you should by now know and understand that in order for you to not have the most disgusting experience ever on PS4 or Xbox, they made the call to only release the game on PS5 and Xbox Series and also PC. And I think the game being labeled as a next-gen one is a result of that decision. In my opinion, Gotham Knights was perceived as a next-gen game because it was released on the newer consoles, when in fact it was probably running on a PS5 because it would have made your PS4, I'm going to say your PS4 would have exploded. Let's be honest. That's my guess. Because again, if the game feels like another Gotham game without being one. Nothing revolutionary, and the DualSense features are almost inexistent. I remember that I was casually getting my ass kicked. I was severely getting whooped when someone came out of nowhere to rescue me. I didn't send an SOS, but that person must have felt my emotional damage from afar because they came to my rescue. That was truly a wholesome hero moment, and even though we ended up dying together, it was very fun. We ended up playing some more missions together and just talked about the state of the game and our experience for quite some time. And the whole time we were playing, the experience was indeed seamless. There were there were still some performance issues here and there, but you could say, without a doubt, that the devs put a lot of thought into the co-op mode. You can do everything with a companion. Even when you go to your hideout, they are going to be there. And here is a nice detail. I was on a mission, playing as Red Hood, and because my mate was playing as Batgirl, instead of Red Hood talking to her over the radio, she was actually interacting and responding back to me, since she was right there. And I think that's really cool. That's pretty cool indeed. And now I want to talk about the gameplay and my experience with Gotham Knights. Well, the game is actually a good game, and a lot of thought went into making it. It's not another outcome game, and I'm glad it isn't. You play as 4 different characters, and you can either switch between them or play the entirety of the game with only one of them. But every character has unique abilities, and the way they would approach a mission or talk to a main character will differ depending on who you are controlling. As I am making this video, I'm level 30? Yeah, and I've spent a lot of time trying to play as everybody. Even though Robin and Red Hood are my big favorites so far. My approach is to assign each character a side mission, that way I get to play as all of them. But when it comes to combat, I do not miss the berries one bit. I was already frustrated with the way the combat was in the arcade games. It felt outdated, dull and repetitive, with just you mashing your way through everything and using just 2 buttons. Though at the beginning you will be using only 1 button as a result of having no abilities whatsoever in Gotham Knights, the combat feels rich and very stylish. You can actually get creative with your encounters, and mind you, I'm just level 30. I still have, I'll say, 10 or 15 more levels to go? I don't know, I'm not sure. But by the time I complete the game and unlock all of the skills and abilities, I'm going to go nuts. And mind you, that's almost 4 different playstyles, since you can choose between Robin, Red Hood, Batgirl and Nightwing if you get bored or just want to try something different. That's awesome. The combat feels very fluid too, and it saddens me, it really pains me that it won't benefit from the extra frame rates. Missed opportunity. Hey, but I did notice, however, that my character would sometimes not dodge at all, even if I'm mashing the evade button. I thought my controller was broken at first, but using another controller did nothing. It felt like the game it didn't recognize my inputs, and it resulted in me dying. That's not a game-breaking issue, but that's quite annoying, especially when it happens at the end of the boss fight, and those boss fights can last so long sometimes. Jesus Christ. And when it comes to Traversal, your main tool to go across the city is your bicycle. But soon enough, you will unlock each knight's unique knighthood abilities and even unlock fast travel to more areas. I definitely recommend doing that early on, since it is a life and time saver when you have all of them unlocked. Robin's ability is called Slideways, and you can teleport using technology, I guess. Yeah, well. But it truly shines when you want to take down some enemies using stealth, since you can basically teleport wherever you want. I made a video about each character's ability, so you should check it out if you want to know more about it. However, I do know that some people were mad about Red Hood's mythical leap not being realistic, and here's what I have to say about this. Listen, this is a video game about a fictional character, a fictional comic book character who came back to life. If the mythical leap is where you draw the line, that's very funny to me. That's the funniest thing ever to me. But yeah, it is not that deep, and it is very cool. At times, it feels like you are the Hulk leaping from one place to the next. Oh, and also, I was having a lot of fun with the outfits in the game. There's so many outfits to choose from awesome to oh my god to just fine. They really nailed it with the suits and how unique they look. You can even customize some piece of outfits you're wearing, like the boots or the mask, and even change the colors. And sometimes I end up wearing 10 different variations of a single outfit on one mission. That's kind of crazy. There's also a gear system with melee and ranged weapon, a crafting system for more gear, the ability to assign powerful mods to your gear, and some armor can offer elemental resistance while your weapon can inflict some damage, like some elemental damage. That's actually a lot to take in. Oh, and also a nice little detail. Even the enemies may be weak to a certain type of elemental damage. While using Red Hood, for example, I was eager to try my ice build against Mr. Freeze's minions, those little guys, but I quickly realized that, well, my fire damage was way more damaging, even though it wasn't the same level as my ice build. So again, a lot of thought went into making the game. And as of right now, I am genuinely 100% having a lot of fun with the game, and intend to play some more co-op in the future and build my characters thoroughly. If you were on edge about the game, especially with the price tag and the bad reviews and the performance, don't be. You're never gonna know if you never even try. But also, the game could run better in a month or two after some patches and updates. And also, the game could be discounted on Black Friday or at the end of the year, you know, those Christmas sales and whatnot. The perfect opportunity to grab it. And also, I recommend the game because I'm having, again, a lot of fun playing it. You are free to dismiss the game if it's not for you, but if you do want to try it, go there with an open mind. This is not an arcade game. This is something new and fun, but yet familiar. I'm Jisoo, and I'm hereby going to get my ass kicked again by some tanky ladies. Let me know what your experience with the game was, will be, and don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Someone's trying to burn me.